NILS ASTHER, Part 2. NILS followed up The Cardboard Lover with another commercial smash, Our Dancing Daughters from 1928, which starred Joan Crawford in one of her career-defining roles, Anita Page and Dorothy Sebastian, as a trio of flappers out to land wealthy men. NILS played Norman, a good man that falls for Dorothy Sebastian's character, B. As you see here, it is more of a romantic leading man type role for NILS. It didn't really give him a lot to do as an actor besides being the good guy who is handsome, which at least was a change of pace after his villainous type roles like in The Cossacks. Variety agreed that the role wasn't the most interesting one for NILS, and a film where the three leading ladies got raves and most of the attention. MGM next trusted NILS to star in his first top-billed American film, Dream of Love, which reunited him with Joan Crawford. The movie saw NILS as another prince in love with a gypsy, this time played by Joan. NILS got the best reviews of his career to date. New York Times called his performance capital. Variety, while they did not like the film as much as the Times, praised him for his attractive looks that heavily engaged the females in the audience. The film was another commercial hit. NILS moved into 1929 not yet ready to make his talkie debut, along with his fellow Swedish MGM star Greta Garbo. They co-starred in 2 more silent films that year, Wild Orchids and The Single Standard. Wild Orchids saw NILS as yet another menacing prince, who this time comes between Mary Garbo and Louis Stone in Java. Garbo's Lily first meets the prince in this scene, where she witnessed him physically assaulting one of his servants. Understandably disgusted, Lily cannot help also but be intrigued by this attractive man with the hypnotic eyes. She is paralyzed, just like Renee Adore's character was in The Cossacks. This film further affirmed NILS' niche as the suave, tantalizing villain. Wild Orchids was a hit with audiences and got NILS great notices again. The New York Times wrote that NILS Asthner is capital as the prince, a persistent individual who appears to be sadly lacking in passion. I misquoted here. But he's a persistent individual who causes passion. The Single Standard saw NILS as playing Packy, a wealthy painter that whisks Garbo's character Arden on a sailing trip around the world and comes between her and the good guy Tommy, played by Johnny Mac Brown. This clip shows a different type of menacing role for NILS, a tough guy that is not only menacing and intriguing to women, but also not to be messed with by other men. As you can see here, he brashly threatens Tommy and belittles his affections for Arden. He plans to steal Tommy's wife and rub it in his face. It was NILS' usual villain, but turned up a notch. The film was another commercial hit. While Variety said NILS was standing in for Jack Gilbert in the role, it praised for what he was able to contribute to that kind of part. Following The Single Standard, NILS was ready to move into the talkies and would soon appear in his first talkie, 1930's The Seabat. But I'm going to stop there for this week. Join me next week as I cover NILS' transition to talkies and the direction his career went soon after that, with much more clips. Thank you again for joining me. I'm Charlie from Silent Talkies. Check back in next week to learn about NILS Asthner. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you.